Manchester United, where do we start with what this final means, what a trophy, what Champions League place would mean, not just for the club, but Rúben Amorim? Where do you stand on what this could mean for them if they're able to win it?
Huge game. Champions League qualification, the monies that come with that, the prestige that comes with that. A trophy, why do you follow football? It's ideally in the pursuit of seeing your team win a trophy. It's glory, glory, Man United. Or if you're Spurs, you know, my eyes have seen the glory of the cups at White Hart Lane. And Manchester United have been more successful in recent decades than Tottenham Hotspur, but they're a huge club as well. Just to come here, football is so much more than the game. It's community, but this is a massive game tonight. And for Rúben Amorim, it's really important. Outsiders might find it bizarre that Man United fans sing about Amorim passionately every single game, when ostensibly his team are failing. It's been pathetic this season in the Premier League. This has been the worst season since the relegation season, 73-74. But Europe has been good. There's been a lot of drama, a lot of goals, a lot of bright moments. Amazing comeback against Lyon. Really impressive win here against Athletic Club in the first leg of the semi-final. Key players have been the experienced one, Casemiro, Bruno Fernandes, Harry Maguire. They need to step up tonight. And Tottenham have beaten United 3 times this season. We know that. They've got key injuries. There's a lot more despondency among the Spurs fans I speak to than the Man United fans. I think they're sort of further along the track with their manager, where a lot of them have given up on him. And I've seen his press conferences. The mood is quite different around Manchester United. Fans are really behind the manager more than any player at the moment, because you know he's got a really tough job to do. And this isn't his team either. And he arrived mid-season. It's very complicated for him. And if he wasn't to be around in a year or two, whoever follows, it's a really difficult job.
You're absolutely spot on. The 2 news conferences felt so tonally different, and they were all joking in the United press conference. Yeah. But we've not really had time to talk about team selection because it feels like there's been so many other themes. But I just wonder, in terms of the side Rúben Amorim goes with tonight, do you think it could be more the team we say started the game in San Mamés, or do you think it's more the team that ended the second leg at Old Trafford with Mount, Ahmad, and maybe Bruno dropping back to midfield?
I think Ahmad is in a different place than he was a couple of weeks ago. And when I mentioned the experienced big-name players, I'd almost move him into that bracket. United have not scored enough goals this season, but he is someone who defenders do not like playing against. And if you look at Tottenham's best players, you've got Mickey, Christian Romero. I've actually watched Tottenham a lot in the Europa League this year for another part of my job, so I feel like a Spurs anorak. And they play quite differently to how they play in the Premier League. Them 2 Bodo Glimt games were totally different, actually, the way that they did it. And even though United lost 3 times against Spurs, there were actually some pretty encouraging passages of play within those defeats. And the cup game at Tottenham in December, United actually played really well in that, but went out of the cup. So you're scraping the barrel, which United fans have been doing all season. Bruno's your man, Casemiro. A few players are coming back into the fold. I saw defenders training yesterday, De Ligt, Yoro, Johnny Evans. I don't know how ready they are to play, but the injury situation is looking much better than a few weeks ago. Another issue is who you start up front. Højlund actually worked really well in the first leg here. His running off the ball was really good. It was one of his better games, but he hasn't been scoring enough. Bruno has been scoring in this competition. And then Harry Maguire marauding down the right wing with his inner Brazilian going past players. There will be no complaints from any Manchester United fans if he does the same tonight and sets a goal up.
He did say yesterday that he's been working on his dribbling every week, although I think he was joking. Just finally, Andy, we did talk about the Champions League place, etc., of what's at stake for United. But, I mean, let's just end on that. I mean, how big is this in terms of the transfer window for the summer? We've seen the consistent cuts of the club. I mean, this feels, and Amorim alluded to it, he doesn't just play these games for his own team, but for a much wider reason. And it feels like this final, especially for United, feels like there's many more reasons at play and at stake here.
There are 5 or 6, 7 reasons why it's a huge game. So if you look at Man United's last 2 Europa League finals, 17 was Mourinho targeting it to get into the Champions League. In 21, Gdansk, United were already in the Champions League. So there was already that relative luxury. And the Champions League, with the money that comes in, it's really important to United. More so now because of the financial problems at Manchester United. And I can hardly believe I'm saying this, but the club has been losing a lot of money, partly because they've not been playing in the Champions League. The squad needs more matches. Poor journalists like me need games to write about. I'm sure everyone is hugely sympathetic towards that. It's a huge game for Man United. And people say it's only the Europa League. So what? How the mighty have fallen? Well, yes, they have. Look at the league table. It happens to every football club in history. And this is a low point for Man United. That's why the fans have really got to get behind the team, as they have been doing in this tournament.
Absolutely. What a final we have to look forward to. As always, Andy, before I let you go, prediction? Harry Maguire winner, as we predicted in San Mamés last time?
Yeah, set up by Johnny Evans after 118 minutes. I'm not sure my heart will stand for that. But any Manchester United win would be a massive result. So I'm not going to go against that. You can see how uneasy I am at your question. Manchester United to win. I got it right last time, didn't I?
You did. I have to say.
So if I'm on a 100% run,
exactly.
3-1 to Manchester United.
Andy, as always, pleasure to have you on Sky Sports News, editor of United We Stand, football journalist extraordinaire. What a final we have to look forward to, and we will keep building it on all day on Sky Sports News.
I know we did last year, but it's the final this week, so a quick word on that.
Yeah, as it gets nearer, the importance of it for both clubs is just going to really ramp up. 40,000 English fans going over to Bilbao. It's going to be a special atmosphere, and a lot at stake. A lot at stake for both managers, for both clubs. It really does impact the next, I think, maybe possibly 2-3 years for each of these clubs, because they need investment into their teams. And if they don't get this Champions League money, then there's going to be a lot less investment, which means then that they could not finish it. They might not finish in the Champions League next season, which then means that you're just, if you like, bumping the problem more down the road. And yeah, so important for both clubs. Ange, many saying that no matter what happens, that he may not stay at Spurs. So he said earlier on in the season that he would win silverware in his second season, and he's on the brink of doing so. For Rúben Amorim, you know, to win silverware in his first season at Manchester United and sort of be able to overcome the horrific league form and go into that pre-season with a new group of players, with the the money behind him that he's got to be able to invest into the squad, and the confidence of a medal round the players' necks and his neck is massive. So it's huge on Wednesday, and I said from the moment that those two teams went through, I've got a sickly feeling about it. I won't look forward to it on Wednesday, to be honest with you, from a point of view as being a United fan, until it's over and hopefully United have won. But I know Tottenham fans will be thinking very differently.